Da 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 da. You just can't resist that hook in that record. That's one of those little things that make a record. So it is. And this record took a big jump on my fantasy playlist. From number 34 to number 23, Deorro featuring Erin McCarley. I can be somebody. And fantasy playlist April 3rd, 2016. Deorro's come out with a number of dance singles over the years. Uh, this off of Ultra Records. He's remixed things by some of the other famous DJs too. Remixed records for world famous DJs and producers like Laid Back Luke, Gareth Emery. He's come out with some great things too, and as well as Steve Aoki. He's still kicking around too. Steve Aoki. I believe I pronounced his name correctly. One of his biggest tracks, he mixed 5 More Hours featuring Chris Brown, which went top 10 in Belgium, Sweden, Norway, maybe cold up there in Scandinavia, but boy, they know how to heat up those dance floors. They get into that dance music a little bit. That song did really well up there. Erin McCarley's on this record. She's an alternative singer of sorts. She's been compared to people like Sheryl Crow, Regina Spektor, and somebody else. I wrote down her name. Oh, Sarah Bareilles. Although some people don't see that connection, probably because she doesn't play the piano, Erin McCarley. But kind of see that similarity in genre, though, with those singers. She's from Texas. She went to Baylor University. And she moved to Nashville later on, but before she relocated to Nashville, she lived in San Diego. She moved to San Diego. Worked at a boutique. She was selling clothes at a boutique. Hung out at the beach. And she was a singer, and she got into songwriting. She got addicted to songwriting. Now, how about this for dedication? How about this for just pouring your heart out? Now, think about this. She got into songwriting big time. Songwriting between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. 12-hour stint. Wearing the same linen pants all the way through. Staring at the walls a little bit, dreaming. You know, sometimes you just got to sit down and daydream. Daydream some lyrics, some imagery, doing creative writing exercises. And she met a guy named Jamie. His name was Jamie Kinney. Jamie Kinney, he was a producer. He was a songwriter. And she trusted him. She felt 100% with this guy on a professional level. And they honed some songs together. They put some songs together for a debut album called Love Save the Empty, which came out back in 2009. She's toured with various artists and festivals. One of them was called 10 Out of Teen, like Tennessee, so 10. And she performed with some of the other alternative artists like Brett Denham. Brett Denham came out with some great records. Jane Morrison, Matt Carney. This is kind of on the maybe a little bit more on the laid back side of the alternative field. These artists and I can't pronounce his name. Paulo, Scottish singer. He was played on BBC back in the late 2000s. Paolo Nutini, New Shoes in 2007, and then he came out with this brilliant Pencil Full of Lead. It had a Katsu New Orleans flavor, that smoky, big, easy feel to that record, Pencil Full of Lead. That was, I think, around 2009, 2010. Well, she played with him. She opened for him at a club called the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. I came across this article researching her. It was done by a critic who liked her show. She put together a good show. This might not have been her first foray into dance music with Deorro. She covered at that club that night. She covered Tom's Diner by Suzanne Vega. Anybody remember that one? Back in late 1990, early 1991, da 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 da. Has a great dance beat to it too. Tom's Diner by Suzanne Vega, alternative dance. So now we come to, I believe I covered everything about her that I wanted to cover. Oh, she performed that song that night at the club with a human beatbox. His name was Rhodes, a synthesizer player. That had to have been something to be doing that song with him and her playing the guitar and him doing the beatbox thing. That must have been really cool. Must have been a good show that night. That was years ago, though. So let's bring it down to 2016. Fantasy Playlist, April 3rd, 2016. Deorro, I Could Be Somebody, with Erin McCarley on vocals on my Fantasy Playlist 3 years ago.